Chiquillos y chiquillas, ¿cómo están? Yo muy feliz de saludarlos como siempre y pues muy emocionada de presentarles la segunda parte de la entrevista. Ya ve que quedó pendiente la semana pasada, no se la pueden perder, así como fue de valiosa y de interesante la primera parte que nos dio conceptos tan interesantes. Si no la han visto, yo les recomiendo que primero vean la primera parte y luego sigan con este video. Aquí les dejo la liga, sale, para que no se pierdan, porque creo que es interesante como que ir desglosando poco a poco el tema y darle el seguimiento. Y bueno, si sí vieron la primera parte y se quedaron picados, aquí toda la información que es igualmente valiosa, que es distinguir cuando estamos haciendo ejercicio, ¿no? Y cuando puede ser muy bueno, puede ser muy sano, puede ser muy lindo, puede ser muy útil, pero no necesariamente es yoga. Entonces, ¿cómo distinguirla? ¿Cómo distinguir una buena clase? ¿Cómo distinguir un buen maestro? Entonces, esto está súper interesante. Y sobre todo también cómo usar la yoga para vivir bien. No se queda en el salón de clases, no se queda en el ashram o en el deportivo donde la practiquen. Tiene que ser una actitud de vida, y aquí los dos maestros extraordinarios nos cuentan perfectamente las razones y la profundidad de esto. Y bueno, antes de empezar, quiero contarles una duda que salió en la primera parte con un buen amigo aquí del canal, con Ángel. Y entonces él preguntaba que cómo era la yoga, el yoga o yoga simplemente, ¿no? Ya ven que de las tres maneras se comenta. Y bueno, en realidad yoga viene del sánscrito, que significa unión. De ahí también está relacionado con cónyuge. Si no han visto el video donde explico un poquito más de esto, por aquí también les dejo la liga. Y entonces cuando pasa al español del sánscrito se considera un masculino, el yoga. Pero cada país que habla español la está identificando como femenino o masculino, de acuerdo a sus costumbres, a su forma de hablarla, a su tradición, y está aceptada las dos formas o la forma sin artículo por los estudiosos de la lengua. Entonces pueden decir el yoga, la yoga o simplemente yoga, y todo está correcto. Igualmente, como decimos India o la India, ¿no? También ambas está perfectamente aceptado. Así que bueno, aclarando esta duda que surgió de la vez pasada, ya los dejo con la entrevista y con estos dos extraordinarios maestros. Espero que lo disfruten.
Yoga for me, it's the life itself, actually. It's the life. Yoga is it's the way we think, the way we speak, the way we act, and all that together is creating our destinies. So yoga for me is a realization that every cause has an effect, and I am responsible for whatever is happening in my life. And I am the creator of my life. That's yoga for me. To be a yogi, it's to live by that principle of yoga. So instead of reacting, you start responding. Instead of judging others, you feel the compassion. And so on. I recommend to realize, come to the realization that no place ever in the world will do it for you. You will not find the peace if you travel that place or that place and that place and hoping for finding the peace. There is no such place to do it for you. You are taking the mind with you. And the mind is the main source of the noise. So the noise is constantly with you. So you can sit in the beautiful here nature. We are here in the greenery and it's nice. And of course the environment, it's better than in the polluted city for sure. However, my mind is still with me, and if the pattern is to see only the disturbances and focus only on the suffering and on the pain, I will be focusing on it either here or in a big city or somewhere else. I don't run away from my mind. So I recommend to not to look too far for the releasing of all our disturbances and pain in physical level, mental, but look within. I can sit in the big city and still looking within. But every human who wants to make a next step needs some guidance, for sure. So you just take the guidance in whatever form it comes and trust that you are on the right path. The trust brings you to that
Journey.
to that relief, to that freedom, the trust. Because any path you choose and you doubt it,
There's something.
there is no freedom. If I doubt this path, then there is no freedom. The doubts are pulling, they're creating the tension. So anything what you choose in life, just have a faith, trust. There's amazing abundance around, amazing abundance. You are not needing to be relying on the external, either person or sources, to be depending on it. Just be depending on your trust, and trust that you are the divine source of everything. And if you're trusting, everything is arranged. The universe will take care.
To do a complicated pose, to do something difficult, and that will make you more illuminated or realize this is completely not true. Because the original yogis, they did not practice anything with the poses. They found the peace in their life just by sitting with themselves, by being silent, and through that silence they realized a lot of things. So the body, as we say in the class, it's just the vehicle. The body is just the car, but the car is taking you here. So you have to come here, whether you go this way or you go this way. The final realization is here, within, inside you. So the complicated pose, or any posture for that matter, has nothing to do with the realization. The poses are meant to align the physical body and to bring peace to the physical body, to bring health to the physical body. But the mind is a completely different chapter, which is what makes you a yogi or a yoga practitioner, is when you start addressing the issues in the mind, the patterns, and trying to get freedom from that. The freedom from the physical suffering you will get, but you have to let go of a lot to get the freedom from the thoughts, from the patterns.
One very student who's been here for a long time, even she did her TTC in her 80. So teacher's training in her 80 with us, doing all the poses. Because there is a right attitude, right intention.
And she used to practice yoga before, or kind of new?
Yeah, she's been here for a few years, like 5 years.
Okay.
And in her 80s, she entered the teacher's training. Just for her to be able to help her friends in her age who are suffering. So it's amazing intention, not for her to become a famous yoga teacher, but purely for her neighbors to learn something what can release the suffering and bring the peace in the body. So I think this is a beautiful intention. You don't necessarily need to do teacher's training just to become the famous teacher and create the image about yourself on the social media and putting the fancy pictures, and that's not a yoga anyway. It's how you live. You don't need to show anyone.
It is difficult, I have to admit, because of the internet. People are putting ratings or reviews. It's hard to know which ones are authentic reviews and which ones are not. The only way would be to go there and find out. But when you are there, how do you recognize it's a good school? You look at the teachers. If they are not just in the classroom. The classroom is just 2 or 3 hours that you practice. It's what goes on outside. So how do you feel when you step outside the class? How do you see the people when they go outside the class? Is the yoga practice making a difference in their life, or is it just boosting their ego? If it's just boosting the ego and the teacher is pushing you to do in some fancy pose, I would say this is not authentic. Authentic means it's wholesome. They are teaching you to use yoga not just in one way for the body, but to use it in your life, to make yoga your life. So yoga becomes the life, and the life becomes more peaceful. When you see this happening, you know that you have found the right place. If you go to the yoga school and you feel like you're not good enough, or they make you feel like you're amazing or you're not so good enough, both the things are working with the ego. So this is not authentic. So if you're picking a yoga school, first of all, you have to stop comparing yourself to all the other students. You have to go to the school where you find the peace which resonates with you, the practice resonates with you, and you feel good about it. So as an advice, I would say to come to India and not to sign up online, but to come here and to take some time and try some practices. Or if you get a personal recommendation from someone, you see if you can trust that recommendation, then you go to the school. So there's no answer to this. You know, it took me many years myself, many years of doing different styles of yoga to find the authentic. So the reason I call this style authentic is because it's not boosting the ego, it's not in the process of achieving something or touching the head on the knees. Everyone, if you look at the class, there is kids, there are 88-year-old people, there's pregnant women, there's people with back problems, knee problems. They are all peaceful, they are all having a good time, they're realizing so many things about themselves, and this is an authentic yoga practice which is inclusive. You should not feel excluded. When you go to a class, you should feel part of the class and not feel excluded from the class. So this is another way to tell if it's the right place.
Don't be confused from what you feel and what you think, because the feelings, that we have this intuition in life when we feel that there is some change we need to do, and we feel it here around the belly area. That's the intuition, and that's also getting more clearer when you're on the yoga path. Trust that feeling. The mind is very clever, the mind is very smart, the mind comes in a way and excuse completely everything. So you excuse this with the logic, with the mind intelligence, and with the conditioning you grow up with. But the truth feeling inside, it's calling, and don't ignore that calling. You have a limitless potential to do anything in this life. Just don't ignore it.
Great.
Don't be scared. Don't be fearful. What you feel, go for it. You know what will make you happy. And I believe that everyone has the answers within, but again, the thoughts, the mind, the conditioning, the way we go to school, the way we are brought up, these things bring a big confusion. So we lose the connection with the intuition. But don't be scared. Take that step, take the first step, and when you are peaceful and happy, everything else will fall into place. I can say this from my experience.
Así que, ¿cómo ven? ¿Se identificaron con algo? ¿Identificaron a alguien? ¿Alguna práctica? Para ser mucho más congruentes, para ser honestos, ¿no? Cuánta gente anda presumiendo y hacia adentro no hay un trabajo profundo, ¿no? No se juzga, no se critica, simplemente no es el camino. Y si ustedes quieren hacer una práctica congruente, profunda, intensa, auténtica, verdadera, útil, pues es simplemente seguir los consejos que nos acaban de dar. Cada quien tiene sus tiempos, sus estilos, sus procesos, todos son absolutamente respetables y pues simplemente es interesante y útil tener las líneas para saber cuándo hacer una práctica que valga la pena en nuestra realización personal. Pues espero que todos estos tips les hayan servido, que los pongan en práctica sobre todo, que me escriban aquí abajo sus experiencias, si practican, si no practican, si pensaban, si cambió alguna idea que tenían sobre la yoga. Y bueno, ya saben que yo soy lentona, pero muy feliz siempre de contestarles a todos ustedes. Y si les pareció el video, si les gusta el video, yo sí los invito y les pido de favor que me ayuden a compartirlo en todas sus redes sociales. Hay mucha gente que está siendo mal informada de esto y puede correr riesgo de lastimarse, ¿no? O de hacer otras cosas que no le benefician. Así que por favor ayúdenme a compartirlo, pónganme su like. Acuérdense de suscribirse, chicos, para que sigamos creciendo esta comunidad, nos hagamos más fuertes y platiquemos de mucho más cosas interesantes. A los que están por primera vez conmigo, muy bienvenidos, muchísimas gracias, les mando muchísimos besos y a los que cada semana me acompañan, saben que los quiero muy profundamente con todo mi corazón. Que tengan muy buen fin de semana, acuérdense, no hay que bajar la guardia, hay que seguirse cuidando y los quiero mucho, muchas gracias.